Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton. And today we're going to be going over YUGIOH Sevens episode 24. An episode that focused around the theme of resolve. Do our main heroes have the resolve to get back up and face the overwhelming force and the unknown that is maximum summoning? So to start off with, I want to talk about Yuga. Yuga was shown to be mentally and visibly shook by this duel with Nail. And I kind of agree with Yuga when he stated in this episode that he wasn't upset with the fact that he lost. His character has not been shown to be that of a character that is all about winning every single duel. His character just wants to have fun with a rush duel. And yeah, I'll agree, that does suit his character nicely. But as a side note, however, I really loved seeing Roa get upset with the fact that Yuga stated he's not down because he lost, as this too fits into Roa's character, being that he is very prideful and knowing the fact that Otes chose Yuga instead of him puts Roa into a situation where he can't believe Otes would choose someone with so little resolve and ambition to be the next king of duels. On top of that, we also have Rook in this episode, who again puts his own personal pride of wanting to become king of duels to one side in order to help Yuga gain information that would help support him in his battle against Nail. This I liked because we have two rivals almost. You can count Rook as a rival to Yuga, helping Yuga out in order to kind of gain a advantage over an opponent. Not something we often see in YUGIOH. But now back on the topic of Yuga, however, I think the key element as to Yuga feeling as down as he was due to the fact that his creative and inventor's pride was challenged. Nail had taken rush duels and found that empty gap of code and improved rush dueling, something that Yuga wanted to do, hence the piece of empty code left in. However, Yuga had not found the right path or method to implement this, so obviously he was still thinking and creating a way to make rush duels more exciting and more fresh once it gained more popularity. He just hadn't got to that point of creating it or thinking of a way. However, Nail beat him to it. Nail took something that Yuga created and improved it immensely. And we saw that in episode 23. I think everyone who watched that episode was absolutely shocked and jaw-dropped by what Nail did with maximum summoning. So again, I think this idea of Yuga feeling down because his creative and inventor's pride was challenged, I think rings true and makes a lot of sense. And if we use this line of thinking, it fits into the parallels that we've seen from both Yuga and Nail's character in how they're both able to challenge each other on an intellectual level. We've seen that throughout this arc so far. Both are very smart, both are able to kind of think the way that the other does and kind of see things from each other's points of view. And both in turn have managed to change and improve each other drastically. Overall though, I really like seeing this display of Yuga as it shows off another side to our main protagonist that we've not seen before, all the while telling us as viewers that he still has ways he can improve later on in the show. Yes, they're all a young cast, so Yuga is not mentally matured as of yet. So we're going to see that moving forward in this show, and I'm excited to see that because I love character development. And this episode can be summed up as Yuga and all the others gaining development because they gained that resolved. So again, I really like that because it plays on something that I want to see from the show. Now, Roa being around in this episode was a very smart choice, as it keeps the theme of connecting Otes to everything that goes on in this episode. Plus, Roa brought some great comedic moment and value to this episode, especially that line about making curry that doesn't explode. I love the fact they call back to previous episodes, and the fact that Roa has now used this joke twice on Romin just hasn't gotten old. I love it. And again, like I said, Roa is someone who wants to be king of duels, and yet he's here helping our main protagonist. And the fact that Yuga feels safe and comfortable enough to go to one of his rivals in gaining this emotional comfort and this kind of support, I think speaks loudly to their kind of relationship and their chemistry together. And I'm not talking anything silly like romantically or anything. I don't think that's at all anything. I'm seeing it more from a rival, from one rival to another. That's the way that I'm presenting it. And you would never see anything like this from another series. The closest thing you can get to this would probably be either Reichi using Yuya, so helping him because he needs to use him, or Yusei and Jack very late in 5Ds, but never in the early stages. You would not have Jaden from GX going to Chaz or Manjome and saying, I need help. I got beaten really badly. Chaz would just laugh at him. So, yeah, I really like this. This is a new, fresh dynamic that we've not seen much of from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe in general from any of the shows. Now, I have to give a big thank you to Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens for showing off the other three main characters and giving them some relevancy, as they want to search for hints about maximum summoning, and this leads them to Otes. Honestly though, I'm quite surprised that Rook thought about going to where the relic first appeared, giving his display of intelligence outside of dueling. So, Rook, you get a thumbs up, because you deserve that. Not much can really be said about the duel though. I like the elements surrounding this duel, however, as all three characters are shown to present their determination and their resolve by getting up and battling despite facing this legendary monster known as Red Eye's Black Dragon. And basically all of its support spells, because we get a situation in this duel where each character, Rook, Romin and Gakuto, have to win on their first turn, otherwise they're going to lose. And the stipulation is that all three of them have to win in order to gain the hint that Otes has in his possession. Now, I will admit, the reveal of Otes being viewed as an enemy on Gohar's system, therefore leading this duel into a situation in where whoever wins, Gohar is always winning. Because our main heroes will gain 3 strikes. Because if Otes loses, he is an enemy to Gohar. So, 3 strikes. If Rook, Romin and Gakuto lose, they don't get the hint, but they still get the 3 strikes. So, it's more pressure added on to our main heroes to win this 3v3 duel against Otes. And yeah, it surprised me. I don't know why it caught me off guard, but it just did. So that makes my prediction, which I put on my Twitter account, really wrong. Anyway, back to the duel itself. The focus on Gakuto's character I thought was rightly so. He hasn't had much screen time when it comes to dueling, so this was a nice pleasant change of pace. However, I did think the stipulation of being a 3v3, messed that up again, was a bit forced and only really served 2 purposes. Purpose number 1, showing that all 3 of these characters are united in wanting to help Yuga in gaining that hint. Reason number 2, it just kind of, again, makes it so our characters are in a situation where they now have 5 out of 6 penalties. And yeah, I know we had to enter the last duel now with 5 penalties to make the stakes more dramatic and more on the line, but at the end of the day, I don't know, it feels a little bit rushed, but I like the way they did it. So there. We don't get to see how Romin and Rook won their duels against Otes, but Otes was mirroring his plays between all 3 of his copies, meaning that it still applied. Rook and Romin had to win on their first turn. I can somehow see Rook doing that, but Romin, given what we've seen of her archetype so far, I don't really see it, if I'm honest. If you know how she could do it with the deck she currently possesses, then feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. And you know what? I think this duel, it did have a nice bit of tension. Like I said, with the team needing to win to gain that hint, I like that Gakuto had that scene where he was like, you know, he had to draw this card that was level 5 or lower. If he drew a level 6, which are some of his monsters that we've seen are, then he's going to lose straight away. I like that. That added a little bit of tension, but at the same time, it kind of, you know, it made it feel a bit more interesting. That's what I'm basically trying to say. The ending of this episode ended on quite a touchy scene, with Romin, Rook, and Gakuto thinking of their reasons for their resolve and how it all links to Yuga. Yuga has helped these characters throughout the entirety of the series, and yeah, I liked when Romin said that, you know, she respects the fact that Yuga knew her secret and yet still treated her as if she was an irreplaceable friend. And you know what? It all made sense to me. I liked it. And I like the fact that Rook pushed his personal pride of wanting to be King of Duels so that he could help out one of his close friends. So yeah, from a character point of view, these characters showed off their bond that they created, and it makes a lot of sense. We don't get shown how they're going to help Yuga in facing Nail in the next episode, but we get told that they want to. And personally speaking, the impression I got from this was that they wanted to give Yuga Dragears, which is Rook's ace, Primarina Katana, which is Romin's ace, and Yami Ruler, who is Yuga's ace, in order to aid him in his fight against Nail. I don't like this idea if he is going to be using all of their aces. I don't know, I think the power of friendship's just going to kind of reek through too much here. Yeah, I want it to make sense. If they do that route and it makes sense, then go for it. If it doesn't make sense, I'm going to be a bit disappointed. Overall though, I really liked this episode. I thought it was really good, showing off some great emotion from different characters, and it stuck to the theme of resolve really well throughout. It was consistent in its animation, the art style was fantastic, and the music was pretty cool nevertheless. Also giving us old school fans a chance to see Red Eye's Black Dragon once again in the anime was just a cherry on top. Some good comedy from Roa. Rook, not so much. Nevertheless though, we'll have to wait until next episode to see what it brings. It looks like Dark Magician is making an appearance, ? And we're going to Goha Corp? And Yuga vs. Nail Part 2 looks to be getting underway, but splitting across 2 episodes, possibly. So join me next time as we go through all of my thoughts on episode 25, but first, we must talk about this one. So let me know all of your thoughts on this episode down in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought, let me know where you think this series is going to go. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video from me. And for more Yu-Gi-Oh content coming to you soon. As always though, have a great day and I'll catch you next time. Alligator matane, goodbye.